You know, at this point, the Senate version of the budget has passed out of the Appropriations Committee. Our budget was formed through collaboration with both the House Republican leadership and the governor's office. They are all aware and were previously briefed on the budget itself before we presented it today, and I think the reaction has been positive. There are 5 key themes to this budget, I believe. The first is really it's honestly balanced, as it has been with our previous budgets. No gimmicks, and we're living within our means. I think that's a very important point here. There's relief for all Hoosiers, taxpayers, which package amounts to approximately $500 million when all of it kicks in. We make significant investments in education and in our infrastructure, which we also think is important, particularly as the economy has improved somewhat, and we are reinvesting in education, particularly K through 12. We pay down our state's debts. That's also an important theme in this budget, that we think that's some of the ways we're paying for capital projects with universities, for instance. We've always used debt. We're doing still a portion of that with debt, but also $200 million of cash, trying to limit the growth of our debt. We think that's important to maintain our AAA rating, and which gives us such an advantage over most other states as far as bonding goes. And we make significant investments for Indiana's future needs in health care and in infrastructure. And obviously, there's a lot of thought that's gone into what if we were to expand Medicaid, and if we did, would we be ready? And so Senator Cayley and our team have put together a plan that puts the money aside and invests for that. We have included an income tax cut from 3.4 to 3.3%. It does not kick in until January 2015. It is a nod to Governor Pence, but also something that we agreed with him on, that this does make sense in that it provides tax relief for a larger number of Hoosier taxpayers. We eliminate the inheritance tax once and for all, going back retroactively to January 1st of this year. We think that's very important as well. I think it's been a negative for Indiana as far as people retiring here. It's been a negative for our farmers. It cuts the financial institutions tax rate. We think that's important to bring that tax in line with the corporate tax cut that we have initiated beginning last year. And so in the end, they'll both be at 6.5%. That makes us far more competitive, both in the Midwest and nationally. That's important for our balances of taxes in Indiana and for keeping us an attractive place to do business. We're putting that money into the Pension Stabilization Fund, which we think is important, continuing investment to pay down the obligations that we have there as we go toward that bell curve, which is probably about 2030, when we finally peak and we'll start seeing the costs of our pension funds go down. It repays money to the PDAF. That was a $50 million loan. We're going to do that over a 10-year period, $5 million per year, and that's another one of those debts we need to shore up. Repaid. The $80 million charter school loan that came out of the Common School Fund is also going to be repaid. We think that's important. $331 million in the K through 12 over 2 years. That's important. Our road funding, at least $600 million. Nikki has pointed out it might be $800 million. We will go back over those numbers. But the point is, at least by the $600 million, 2/3 of that is an investment in major future road projects in Indiana, which we think is important. Our major moves money has basically been utilized. It will run out of that soon. And this recognizes that there are some major projects remaining in Indiana, and we need to think about how we're going to fund that, given their troubles and struggles with the gas tax and its diminishing resource for us. That we think is a prudent investment as well. All of those are key factors in the budget. We're proud of it. I personally feel that at this snapshot in time, obviously prior to the revenue forecast, that this is about as good a budget as I've seen in my 17 years. It's in great shape. It keeps a surplus. It invests properly in Indiana's future and for our kids, and gives tax cuts for all taxpayers. I think it's as good as I've seen. I'm very proud of the work that our people have done and the collaborative effort that's gone on with the House and the Governor's office.